A very good morning and welcome to this morning edition of ES 101's Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I'm Hashini Pathirana. And before we take a look at your news in detail, let's take a look at your headlines first.
News First headline.
Final campaign push. Presidential campaigning ends at midnight. In your international headlines, Hezbollah blames Israel after pager explosions kill 9 in Lebanon. And in your sports, Inter's Inzaghi downplays Champions League rematch with Man City. And now on to your top story this morning. In the final push before the silent period, presidential candidates have organized their last public rallies across the island. Now, independent presidential candidate Ranil Wickremesinghe will address supporters in Mathura, Galle, Homagama and Kalutara with his final rally scheduled at Grand Pass. Samgi Janabalavagia's candidate Sajid Premadasa will hold rallies in Monaragala, Ambalipitiya, Ambalantota and Peruvala, concluding with a final rally in Maradana. Anrukumar Disanayaka, the candidate of the National People's Power, will focus his rallies on the Western Province with events in Kalutara and Gampaha and his final rally at the Ananda Samrakon Open Air Theatre in Nukegoda. Sri Lanka Podujana Peremuna's candidate Namal Rajapaksa will hold rallies in Tissamaharama and Mathugama, ending with a final event in Piliandala. Now, Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca will address supporters in Pannala and Negombo with his last rally planned for Kirulapana. The Election Commission urges all candidates and their supporters to adhere to the regulations and ensure a peaceful and fair election process. In more local news, campaigning for the upcoming presidential election will conclude at midnight tonight, marking the beginning of a silent period that will last until the election day on the 21st of September. Now, the Election Commission has announced that all candidates and citizens must refrain from engaging in any election campaign activities during this period. Election Commissioner General Saman Sriratnayaka emphasized that the law will be strictly enforced against those who continue to campaign, including through social media, after midnight tonight. We're still in local news. The Postal Department has announced that individuals who have not yet received their official polling cards can now obtain them from their nearest post office starting today. This service will be available daily from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. upon verification of identity. The Department of Posts has extended this opportunity until the 21st of September to ensure all eligible voters have the chance to participate in the upcoming elections. In a related statement, the Election Commission has clarified that voters who do not have their official polling cards can still cast their votes by presenting a valid identity card at the polling stations.
International news.
And finally, taking a look at your international news for this hour, 9 people, including a child, have been killed after handheld pages used by members of the armed group Hezbollah to communicate exploded across Lebanon, the country's health minister said. Now, Iran's ambassador to Lebanon was among the 2,800 other people who were wounded in the simultaneous blasts in Beirut and several other regions. Hezbollah, which is backed by Iran, said the pages belonged to employees of various Hezbollah units and institutions and confirmed the death of 8 fighters.
Sports news.
And we're finally taking a look at the sports update for this morning. Now, Inter Milan coach Simone Inzaghi is not treating their Champions League game at Manchester City on Wednesday as a rematch of last year's final. The Serie A winners were beaten 1-0 by Pep Guardiola's side in the 2023 final, but Inzaghi is adamant that changes to the Champions League format and the fact that there is much less riding on the result make it very different to their previous encounter. Inzaghi was enthusiastic about the changes to the format, with clubs playing 8 matches in a 36-team league phase instead of the previous group stage. And with that, we wrap up this morning edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. I'm Hashini Patirana. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more of the very latest.